XLT, Yamaha XLT800. This is an '03 model. Now all the videos This kind of stuff right here is the reason every time you get a jet ski out of the water, rinse it real good. Hey, welcome back. Today we're finally got us some parts in, so we're gonna change the spark plugs out here. As you can see, they were pretty nasty. Got water all in them and everything else. So we're gonna put these brand new NGKs in here, and we're gonna get her fired up. Well, take that back. We're not gonna get her fired up yet, because we're still got to get the rest of the fuel out of this thing. It's pretty nasty, but we're gonna at least get the new plugs in here today. We got the pumps that I have for pumping oil and fuel, just too big to get down in the hole for this thing. So we had to order a special pump just for this one. And it seems to me like we're going to be working on a few of these, so we went ahead and just ordered the pump so that we can have it for future projects. And as you can see, this is plug number 2, and it was pretty bad as well. When we blew air down into the cylinders, needless to say, there was lots and lots of water coming out of it. And we took lots and lots of trash out of the impeller pump and all that. You'll see on the video there some of the sand and stuff that came out. Now that's par for the course with these wave runners and jet skis. But the wood chunks that came out, that was a little disturbing. They said after they flipped it over, they tried to fire it back up, and it was making a crazy noise when it started. Well, after seeing the wood that come out of it, now we know why. So, needless to say, these things are not designed to run with wood chunks in them. Okay, so now we got us a couple new plugs in here. And looks like some ants have decided to come up here and make themselves at home. And we're still trying to figure out how this got in here. I'm not quite sure how that got in there or why it's in there, but I don't think it's supposed to be there. Okay. So everything else looks good. Now we can see our fuel line here. So we've got some pretty nasty fuel in there. And I'm going to see if I can run the camera down here for you and show you how bad the fuel is inside there. So I can get my camera person to hand me the camera. Sorry about the little bouncing around for a second, but it's gonna happen. Let's see if we can get her in this little hole. This is sometimes a little difficult, but you can see the fuel down inside there and how bad it looks. Looks like we got some chunks of stuff down inside there as well. So once the new pump comes in tomorrow, we'll be able to take care of that. And then we got a new battery coming for it, because needless to say, these got to put the water in. If you flip them over on their top, 9 times out of 10 they will go bad on you. And in this case here, you can see this one is not very old, and it will not hold a charge for more than about 10-15 seconds. When I put the tester on it, it reads bad with these batteries. So we ordered a brand new gel top battery, so that this so if she does get rolled over again, it won't kill the battery immediately. I mean, overall, this is an XLT800 Yamaha wave runner, and they say they love it. We're going to find out, because once we get her running, we're going to take her out and test her just to make sure everything's good, and go from there. Yeah, you got to kind of talk with this. Ready? Alright, so we're going to check this air filter here too. Another thing you do whenever you've drawn one out, change your air filter, or at least clean it. Change your fuel, change the oil, change the plugs. And on these you got 4 little tabs on here that you got to push down and slide sideways, and then these 2 little bolts right here. These will keep it tight and secure, sealed up. So we're taking these things out right here. Basically, these jet skis are pretty simple. And if you've got a little bit of mechanical sense to you, they're not real hard to tinker with. And sometimes you just get a stubborn one that just doesn't want to cooperate very well. And there's probably a couple of tabs on the bottom down here, I'm sure. Yeah, there it is. And sometimes these tabs are a pain in the batuka, or whatever you want to call it. So we're taking these things out right here. Basically, these jet skis are pretty simple. And if you've got a little bit of mechanical sense to you, they're not real hard to tinker with. And sometimes you just get a stubborn one that just doesn't want to cooperate very well. And there's probably a couple of tabs on the bottom down here, I'm sure. Yeah, there it is. And sometimes these tabs are a pain in the batuka, or whatever you want to call it. Alright folks, we got about an hour and a half into this job, and I'm thinking to do everything that we're going to do, we're going to have about 3.5 hours into it all total, which is pretty sweet for the customer. That keeps their cost way down on it, and they get a whole lot more done than they were expecting, which I always like to do. I always like to give them a little more than what they expect for about the same price that they're quoted. even though I try not to quote a price on repairing these, because you never know what you're going to get into. So that's why, you know, most mechanics always do stuff just by the hour. A lot of times folks working on these are, you just gotta have a little patience. I've been a mechanic for, I should say I've been doing mechanic work for a long time. And when I was younger, oh no, I didn't have the patience. I can't tell you how many times a wrench or a bolt has flown across the yard. Alright. So now we've exposed the carburetors down here. And surprising enough, they don't look really bad. But as you can see the screen here, that keeps all the big crap from getting in there. And it's pretty nasty, so we're going to go ahead and clean it. And like I said, they don't look horribly bad, not as bad as I was expecting. They do have some water down in here, so obviously she's taking a water hit pretty good. But we already knew that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get some carb cleaner, and we're going to spray them down with some carb cleaner, and we're going to clean this up here. And then we're going to take some seafoam. In case for those of you who don't know what seafoam is actually a very good cleaner of internal systems. It'll clean injectors, it'll clean the carburetors, it'll clean all that kind of stuff. Usually when you do something like this here, like here with this, after we get the old fuel out, we're going to put some of that seafoam down in the gas, and we're going to get a can of spray seafoam, and we're going to spray the carburetors down after we clean them. We're not going to take these off to clean them. I don't see any reason for it, being they don't look all that bad. We're just going to try and get the water out of them, get as much of the water and crap out of them as we can. And then we'll spray some seafoam down in there, and that'll help lubricate the carburetor up a little bit and help everything work like it's supposed to. So anyway, here on Junk to Gems 3, we're going to be putting out some videos on a regular basis, and we just wanted y'all to know that this kind of stuff we love to do. Sometimes it gets a little challenging, but you know, I just love taking things and making them come back to life, you know, just because you never know what you're going to get into with these. Especially when it comes to you and it doesn't run. Or somebody else has tried to be the mechanic on it. Okay, where's the other two at? I know there's another two more in there somewhere. There they are.
God.
I'm hoping they didn't bend that impeller when we pulled all that wood out of there. So anyway, we got her to turn over once. So next we're gonna be able to see if they actually bent the shaft on the jet pump. So you'll have to stay tuned and see if they bent it or not. That'll be on our next video coming soon. So keep an eye out, and thanks for watching Junk to Gems 3.